Welcome back to another episode of Blogcast Podcast. Today we have an amazing guest, the CEO of Zand Bank, Michael Chen. Zand Bank is one of the key players in the region, but in the UAE for all the digital asset ecosystem, a key banking service provider. Today we had an amazing insights. What does it mean to be the CEO of a bank? How do you even become a CEO of the bank? What kind of education, career path you have to become a CEO of the bank? We heard also the key innovations and the milestones that Zand Bank is achieving in the launch of a stablecoin. We also heard Michael's thoughts where he sees the future of stablecoins. We touched upon real-world assets, what it means to invest into crypto assets in the region and in the UAE. Today you're going to love this show, one of the best ones we had. My name is Anton Golub. I'm the co-host of Blogcast Podcast, and today I'm here with my co-host Dr. Demetrios Zamboglou. Enjoy this show, subscribe to the channel, have a blast, like the video, subscribe to our channel, and more to come.
Today, if you look at the real estate market, the main buyer actually is never the local, right? The local actually will pay 10%, 20% actually that's internet market share, but main play actually international buyers. Yes. So that's attraction actually from the market on the Dubai. Now it happen actually right now physically, but it will be tokenized, virtually as well. And I bring up, why don't we think about borderless? So in order to do borderless, and then if you do the retail banking and then you focus only on the local market, when you do corporate banking, in fact, you are serving the world if the regulation allow. Now, why don't we go further? And if we can actually serve the Web3, if you can serve actually the crypto world, in that case, you become borderless if the jurisdiction allow. So I think the first change actually will be the next even 12 months. I think that the adoption actually on the stablecoin will be a wave, not only the UAE, but many countries. Now, UAE is a bit ahead again because of the payment token regulation was approved in July 2023. And we have already played and launched stablecoins. And by the way, Zand is also launching stablecoin in the public change. And I hope actually this can be happen very soon with the support of the central bank.
Well.
Thank you very much.
Very big news.
Very strong.
Number one, there are many countries actually suffering from the currency depreciations, right? Where they can hardly actually access the physical notes market. For example, like the African countries, they want to have the dollar instead of depreciating for the country itself. Now, access on the dollars, and if you go to some country, you can be shocking. The haircut, you give 100 notes, and then you return only have 70 if you pay in cash. Now, if we look back for the last 2 years, 2022 November till now today, 2025, definitely I would say UAE is one of successful crypto hub. We attract a lot of crypto company here, in regardless whether they are regional players, global players, and then I think there are certain commitments. And few actually even committed to be global booking centers, but we will see actually the regulation to enable them.
So welcome to the show, Michael. It's really great to have you.
Thank you, Anton.
And a year and a half ago, when I was moving to UAE, to Dubai, I heard many of my friends and colleagues tell me one of the key players in the region and the ecosystem, crypto ecosystem, is Zand Bank. So really great to have you. And I'm sure we're going to have an awesome conversation, right, Demetrios? It's going to be a blast.
I think it's definitely going to be a blast. Michael is not an easy guy to find, so
yes. So thanks for coming. Yeah.
Thank you for
thanks
coming
again for the invites
to our podcast.
Yeah. So maybe then to kick it off in that direction, Zand Bank, by far, I think it's one of the key players on the banking infrastructure side for the region, for the digital asset industry. Maybe if you can share a little bit, how was that journey for you, for Zand Bank? And also, I think for a lot of our audience will know about Zand Bank, but maybe if you can also there as well explain what kind of services you offer and to whom in the crypto industry, digital asset industry. So
absolutely. So I started journey from November 2022, and I almost went through 9 months of interviews of joining actually UAE, where I struggled with the wife, say that, hey, you know what, give me some time actually away from you, and then I got a permission, so I came to the UAE. Until today, I still not able to convince my wife convert until the end of next year, so I still have a bachelor life. Now,
and sorry, where is the family? The family is.
So right now the family, I have one kid, and then my wife and my kid is right now in Singapore, and then my kid actually has 2 more years to go for finish the national service, and then before to going to universities, and which he aimed to go to the US. Well, back to the story, right? So when I actually interviewed the board, and then I was shocked a bit. Actually, the offer is regarding digital retail bank. And then, so I had the same initiative in the past 2 banks actually I worked with, one a French bank, the other one is a UAE bank. where the conclusion always like, the retail actually digital bank may not actually has any more edge in the market, because if you back to 2017, the digital bank is kind of a really trendy wording, and where you have actually premium on the valuations. And until the later stage in 2020 plus, and then it proved that many of the digital bank actually are quite difficult to break even their P&L. So my condition keeping to the board interviewer and all that, saying that unless you change the strategy, I will not join the bank. So after the 9 months actually negotiation and all that, and then they believe we should have something unique propositions. And then I proposed two things. Number one, we should have a wholesale strategy instead of the retail strategy, because there are many banks at the end will become a digital bank.
Yes.
Number two is the unique propositions, that what is exactly the agendas for the UAE, where actually the leaders want to be, where the nation want to be. Crypto start from 2013, and then you guys are the early adopters. I start 2017 myself, in terms of current myself the portfolio. UAE, I think it's very committed and very visionary in terms of the crypto path, and then they make very clear that they want to be one of the leading crypto hub in the world, where they are doing now. Second, actually, they want to be one of the leading innovation hub. I think actually the leaders really have visions, on what's coming, and then what they learn from the Western and also the Asian world. Then when I look at actually what happened in the UAE at that time, 2022 November, in fact, there's no bank can support crypto. And it seems actually banks are unfriendly as well with the fintech. So I said, why don't we have these unique propositions? So that's why we start the roadmap of what we can do to help, to be one of the contributors to enable all the crypto companies. Now, if we look back for the last 2 years, 2022 November till now today, 2025, definitely I would say UAE is one of successful crypto hub. We attract a lot of a crypto company here, in regardless whether they are regional players, global players, and then I think there are certain commitments. And few actually even committed to be global booking centers, but we will see actually the regulation to enable them. Today, I think Zand is helping their banking services, but if I can actually explain a bit actually what Zand exactly doing. We're doing the corporate banking, where cash management, lending, borrowing, but we do also global market on the FX, money market short term, and also the fixed income. We have also the wealth management, asset management, which we got a license approved back to 6 weeks ago. And then we have also, thank you very much, thank you. And then we have also the so-called digital asset strategy, where we, thanks again to the VARA and the central banks, and we have a so-called digital asset custodian license approved in December last year. We have also the Dirham Stablecoin actually in principle approval from central bank in December 2024. Now we are in the last mile to launch a Dirham Stablecoin in the public exchange, and then we are explaining all the parties that's what's the use case on the Dirham Stablecoins. I think we have a certain players right now in the market, and then they have a different use case, and Zand will have a different use case as well. Last piece actually that of course hot topics, real world assets, and then we also participate on the tokenizations. One last participations we have actually with the Dubai Land Authorities, we are playing the banking role, where actually Preco and Control Alternate actually playing the distribution platform and also tokenization and also custodian. Zand actually has a end-to-end digital offering versus the banking offering. Our target actually is institutions, wealth. So that's why we are trying to, you always see actually in the website that's, our website, that's we are trying to bridge the TradeFi and the DeFi. And we really mean it. If I may actually give what will be happen actually in the next 6 months on the Zand. By opening a corporate account, institutional account, by default you have two accounts. One is a fiat account, the other one is a crypto wallet.
Wow.
And that means actually in the integrated account statement, you will see actually two pie chart instead of one pie chart, right? One pie chart actually is a fiat pie chart, and the other one is a crypto pie chart with the asset you're having.
And this will be offered both to crypto native clients and to the non-crypto native clients, if I understand.
So we definitely follow the regulations, and then because we actually serve the corporate client and institution client, actually this will be the main focus. The second reason actually, I want to explain why not the digital retail bank for the bank, because the bank itself actually have a multi-country strategy. And then when I discuss, and then what is the go-to-market strategy in terms of timeline and also the target countries. And I bring up, why don't we think about borderless? So in order to do borderless, and then if you do the retail banking, and then you focus only on the local market, when you do corporate banking, in fact, you are serving the world, if the regulation allow. Now, why don't we go further? And if we can actually serve the Web3, if you can serve actually the crypto world, in that case you become borderless if the jurisdiction allow. So that is actually what Zand is doing right now.
Awesome.
So many questions I have.
So I say maybe I will. So you mentioned, I mean, Zand is a key player in the digital asset industry, and in terms of your overall activities, is the majority of your client base and so on the digital asset side, or is it on the non-digital asset side? Like, how does it look like? Who you work with most? I know that you, I think, might have most of the crypto clients, but how does the overall profile of the bank look like in that sense?
I would say the crypto clients for the whole portfolio probably would be less than 5%.
Less than 5%.
Because actually, that for the corporate space is a wholesale and then institution. We don't really, tell the market actually how many clients we are serving and all that. But we focus on the mid to large corporates, where actually the corporate is 50 million US dollars and about, and they are the target for us. Okay. Usually they are multinationals, the regional players in the different sectors. But we focus very much on the property, energy, and conglomerates, right? Same reason, because of the shareholders are coming from different sectors. Yes. The bank again, under the leadership of the chairmen and also the vice chairman, who is Mohammed Al-Abad, who has the franchise of the IMA, Noon, Americanus, and too many other brands. And our vice chairman, Mohammed Al-Mazuri, actually is the leaders in the Al Hill group, where Al Hill actually owned by one of the sheikh in the Al Nahyan ruling families in Abu Dhabi. So we have a strong backers. I mean, we have also Mr. Yusuf Ali from Lulu. So you can imagine we can access from online, offline, and all that. These are the customers for the franchise we are serving. But on top, actually, we are serving, no matter your trading company, trade ports, and, energy companies. These are all the sectors we are focusing on. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
you, Demetrios.
I have so many questions to ask. But I think the biggest question that the audience wants to know is, how do you become the CEO of Zand Bank?
Yes.
How did you start and how did you end up here? What should people do to have such big roles like yours?
So first, convince your wife.
No, I mean, what did you study?
How did you meet your wife?
How did your family motivate you? And what was this journey?
Okay, so I am the only two family members out of the 3.5 generations. I am, Indonesian Chinese, with 100% Chinese blood. 430 over family members, only 2 people are actually working for the others, but not setting their own business. One is myself, and the other one is my younger brothers. Because my father, business is not really sexy, so that's why we refused to get my father business. But we did try. I try to bring this up because of the family, actually by the DNA itself, they have a very strong entrepreneurship spirit. When you're being actually entrepreneurs, I think the thing is that you do something where you care most. You need to have a passion about what you're doing. I think lucky enough when I was starting, and then I start from the tech. In fact, I start from global market FX tradings. And then on the tech side, actually, I was very much on the equity capital market side, where if you want, actually, from the old term, we don't call it fintech in the old day, but in fact, we call it fintech today. We started the fintech journeys, and then we used to be working with very fast time, mission critical market and all that. And then I was being always a high flyer in one of the French bank, and be trying actually in a different role. And then I was in a so-called international program, where actually you need to learn about a few things, including selling the potato, and also to lease a cow in the north in France. Okay. And then you need to be the foreign tellers in one of the foreign country in Africa. And then you need to learn about asset management and also the corporate investment bank. And that they paved me the road, to be ready to be the CEO for the futures. So I was lucky actually in one of the program, where actually for the last 10 years on this program, I'm the only Chinese. In fact, I was the only Asian out of the 10 cohorts. That I try to understand actually what the leadership means to me, and then what exactly I want to achieve. That program after that, and then I've been in the position of deputy CEO for banks in the different country and regions. And that I understand actually what I want to be, because what I want to be is to make an impact. The impact meaning to the South, to the impact meaning to the nation, and impact to the world may be different. So that's why I see opportunity in UAE. I see that actually I can do something different, make an impact. The only thing I can do it unless I lead myself. So that's why, with the permission of my wife, and I'm sure that she's online now. And then, so that's why how we can make
the
it.
partner is a very critical thing to have also
The support,
in your network. But so you studied finance, you studied engineering. What did you study? What was your first?
So my first academic degree actually is computer science and data science.
Okay.
And then I move on to the financial engineering, the master degree. And the last degree I have is the EMBA with Northwestern Kellogg School of Management. So basically this helped me to have a, from the tech until the finance and then until the leaderships, which I have a so-called good training. And we put the training in practice as well, because for the so many years of the deputy CEO role, with the P&L's responsibility, and also you have a holistic view of how the bank should run. Yes. So that's why actually that helped me today, to run the bank. Yeah.
And talking about your future and the future of Zand Bank and the ecosystem, definitely in the last couple of years, the leadership, I think the country and the regulators and the infrastructure has made it very easy for people to come here in the UAE, set up their digital asset business, grow and scale. So how do you see it, and are you happy with the results so far? A lot of people are saying, at least I say it many times, UAE is one of the better or best jurisdictions in the world. What do you see for the future of the UAE here when talking about the digital asset crypto side? Where do you see the key narratives and key initiatives?
Yeah. Let's put in a different angle, right? So before Trump administration and after Trump administration are very different. Okay. US play a very big role on the crypto market, not because of the market share of the US. It's because the nature on the crypto world in terms of trading is cross again always a US dollar stablecoin, namely USDT and USDC. Now the market pain actually is that you always got a problem on the US dollar clearing if you are not the onshore US bank. That's the reason actually they limit the scope of UAE, even though a lot of the crypto company coming over, but they limit actually that so they can serve only the UAE residents. Now because of the wave of a stablecoin and also success of a Circle. Congratulations again, Jeremy.
Congratulations to Serval for sure.
Yeah. So I think the more and more country aware about the stablecoin, and I think there are two aspects on that. Number one is that when you have more liquidity on the major pairs, no matter it's a Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all that, Solana, and then if you have more liquidity across again the local currencies, so that means actually you have a better reason to have the local stable coins. So I think the first change actually will be the next even 12 months. I think that the adoption actually on the stable coin will be a wave, not only the UAE, but many countries. Now, UAE is a bit ahead again because of the payment token regulation was approved in July 2023. And we have already played and launched stablecoins. And by the way, Zen is also launching stablecoin in the public change. And I hope actually this can be happen very soon with the support of the central bank.
Well.
Thank you very much.
Very big news.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Yeah. The second one is institution. Actually, if you look at BBVA, BlackRock, and all that, recommending actually that asset managers and also the wealth manager, individual and institutions should have certain size of the portfolio in terms of their investment. BBVA probably the most aggressive, up to 7%. BlackRock probably 2 to 3%. And some bank actually that's recommended even actually higher. But again, whether this can happen actually in UAE depends on the two aspects. Number one, actually that's the capital consumptions. When you take the crypto assets, whether that will means actually 100% capital consumption to the bank. If this is the case, actually that will actually slow down the adoptions of the institutions. If they follow the US approach, that's the adoption can be quite quick. That's another I can see. Third one, I think that's there will be clear definitions and clear distinctions of the CBDC and also the stablecoin. CBDC may be leading by some famous or most important actually export country in the world that may change again actually the settlement currencies in terms of actually the non-dollars. Reason because of you can see what happened today is that the Tether actually owned the US Treasury 140 billion times 70%, sorry, times around 30 to 50%. It's almost like huge. I mean, we're talking about his US Treasury holding is larger than some of the country as well. Now, the country actually understand a bit more. In fact, if you want actually to have the people buy your bond, in fact, stablecoin can be one of the way. So the way of the thinking actually become different as well from the government perspective. I think the wealth side also, we have a lot of wealth client actually asking for the high yield capital protections, where actually, in the conventional world, and then you have to compromise on the junk papers. But in the crypto world, you don't necessarily actually to have this. For example, you can bet again actually the bricks between the USDC pair again, let's say USDT, right? And then the return yield can be quite high, but the possibility of the breaking actually is quite low, right? So in that case, actually the return is quite attractive, even to me, talking about 13% plus, right? I think more and more so-called the crypto-based products will be launched, where institution will package, like in the old days, security deposits, right? Or securitizations based on some underlying. I think this kind of crypto asset will be more and more popular. Yeah.
Maybe just to the first topic you mentioned around stablecoins. So far the use case around stablecoins was mostly on the trading side, liquidity side. So you move assets between the exchanges, and then kind of the payments for remittances were a bit less.
Yeah.
So you think that the growth will be more now on the payments and remittances side rather than trading? Is this kind of like the positioning that you yourself, from your thoughts or from Zand perspective, this is where you think you will find your opportunity when it comes to AED stablecoin? Yeah?
Well, spot on, Anton. If you look at actually, I don't know how many of you follow the Solana project. If you look at Solana project in terms of the performance, the top actually are all PayFi, right? That's number one. Number two, if you look at a big player like Visa, Master, what's the agenda right now is that fear of missing out.
Yes.
So that's why actually that they try to improve also the so-called efficiency and also the fee, right? If you don't act now, you're losing market share. So you look at Ripple, you look at the others. Agenda is always the stablecoin. Now, why stablecoin, right? The stablecoin is not only the efficiency. The stablecoin actually, in my aspect, there are a few areas that we can really help the world. Number one, there are many countries actually suffering from the currency depreciation, right? Where they can hardly actually access the physical notes market. For example, like the African countries, they want to have the dollar instead of depreciating for the country itself. Now, access on the dollars, and if you go to some country, you can be shocking. The haircut, you give 100 notes, and then you return only have 70 if you pay in cash. And that push actually Africa a lot of a market. Actually, they try to be on ramp with the USDT, right? If they actually have the choices, no matter the local currency packed with some basket like gold, no matter actually they are using some US dollar packed currency, they can be the choice, right? So I think this can have a real economy effect, to the local impact.
And imagine if the stable coin gives yield as well.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So that will be probably, when the beautiful regulation evolve in version 2, and then when the yield bearing is allowed, and then I think this will be taking off. Second use case, I think, is cross-border remittance, right? Cross-border remittance, and then there are so many middlemen in between, including the banks, correspondent bank A, sender bank, and receiver banks. And then you have the last mile, maybe the exchange house, right? And if the technology today adopts so quickly in terms of the smartphone and all that, and then also the trust, on the crypto, the stablecoin actually will play a big role. I believe that's probably in 6 months. When you transfer the money, you don't even know actually in the underlying you're using stablecoins, because you don't need to know, right? What you need to know actually is that how cost effective and how quick you can actually have the money, right? So that's the second use case. The third use case, of course, it's very important to pair with the real world asset. Otherwise, you cannot trade. So I think everybody wants to put a different asset, on a different distribution platforms. But it would not make sense saying that, for example, if I want to buy a property in the downtown where price in the US dollar for the local players. So that means actually that you have to pair with the local currencies. So I think the stablecoin will play a very big role. That's to make actually more distribution more effective as well. And then for Zand, actually, for the DRM stablecoin, actually we have 7 use cases, but the rest of 4 are in a secret recipe, I would say.
Still in the laboratory, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just ask one question and then I can pass to Demetrios. Again, about stablecoins. If we look at the market capitalization of all stablecoins, the predominant players are Tether and Circle, and it's the US dollar stablecoin. Where do you see the opportunity for other stablecoins, or for other currencies? The euro is non-existent, or maybe lack of demand. I think for all the others as well, we're kind of struggling there. We're not moving past objectively USDT and USDC. So what are your thoughts there? Is there demand for on a big scale for non-dollar stablecoins?
My view may be a little bit different than the mainstream. Because actually I believe the use of stablecoin mainly on the PayFi side. But if you're on the PayFi side, means actually the market circulation within 24 hours will dismiss, right? So that means actually you don't need to have a huge amount overnight. That means that the over market circulation in terms of average over 365 days actually is lower. What I believe actually that because of the adoption on the crypto is higher, there will be actually quite healthy, moving up because of the crypto trading demands. But in terms of the PayFi world, which is the much largest, if you talk about the crypto market, roughly around 4 trillion, and the FX market actually is 80 trillion plus, trade market is more than 400 trillion, right? If you look at actually the use of the PayFi side on cross-border settlement purpose, on the trade world and also the FX world, this money would not stay. This money would just a flash seconds exchanges and going back to the local currencies. So I think if you look at actually that the settlement amount will be huge. But in terms of the market circulation, actually that will be a quite steady growth.
So
in my view.
High velocity but less market cap to talk in the crypto.
The second thing I will forecast is that there will be a normalization of the different stablecoin in different currencies. When you have a high adoption for each countries, and then of course, I mean, my payroll is in dirham. I'm sure that you guys are the same. And then I will spend in dirham as well. So if I can actually buy direct the dirham with the crypto market, I would use the dirham, right? I'm sure that the same will be the Hong Kong, the same will be the other country as well. So I think there will be a change on the liquidity where the major pair will cross again the local stablecoins. In that aspect, actually, that the whole market share may be increasing still, but I think the dollar stablecoin actually market share will be slowing down.
Okay.
But we haven't seen adoption, like, for example, we didn't see something like a euro stablecoin picking up like the USDT. We didn't see a GBP stablecoin picking up, or even a Swiss stablecoin, Anton.
Yeah, we were not really...
We didn't see such volumes there. Why do you think this is the case?
We talk about two aspects. One actually that the stablecoin being used on the crypto trading market. The other one actually as a settlement purpose, right? I think on the settlement purpose, quite simple because in Europe start very long time, like in the US, almost like 10 years, the stablecoin. But if you have only single stablecoin without the pair, you cannot do the settlement purpose. So that's why actually stablecoin in the old day, you cannot do the settlement. And right now it's different because you have foundation, right? You have infrastructures and then you have the adoption of the people as well. So that's why on the settlement purpose, actually that's will take off. But again, the total market circulation may not be increased because they will be actually just disappear in a second. But on the market actually trading size on the Europe and UK, I think it depends on the evolution on the regulations, right? If you look at the Europe, if I'm not wrong, Germany actually is the largest player as compared to the rest. But again, EU despite only one MiCA rule, but I think whether you have institution player stepping in and without institution player, it makes a huge difference. If you look at the equity market like in Japan and also in Hong Kong, right? The derivative market is 90%. The spot market is only 10%. I think that also will happen when institution player actually coming in, and then there will be multiple increase on the trading volume. That's number one. Number two, I think at the end, there will be a normalization on the different crypto law regulation among the different countries because they believe that actually the stablecoin can be one of the use of the cross-border. And then you cannot have too much difference between the countries. When this being normalized, I think actually trading volume will pick up as well in Europe.
Yeah, but we haven't seen a big European bank take the reins and say, listen, I will launch my Euro T or Euro, I mean, a combination of that titles. And then I will put my clients and I will do my cross-border payments. We haven't seen this, and I think this will come as well.
Maybe, again, my 2 cents only, right? So first, again, crypto market liquidity come cross against USDT, right? Even though you launch a new stablecoin Euro, despite your own local currencies, I mean, the adoption and also the regulation and also the retail institution may not be that fast, right? In Europe in the old day. The second is that the settlement issue has not been resolved. Right? Even though you are in Europe, and then let's say you try to using the fiat real to cross again the euro back from the US dollars. But the first pain point is that the US dollar clearing in the US. Now, all the bank actually, they earn a lot, like European bank, like the BNP Paribas, Credit Agricole, Société Générale, and all that. The income-wise in terms of the crypto is too small for them, right? But the risk is super high, right, in terms of sanction. So that's why actually most of the top players, they would not actually encourage the digital strategy on the trading side, but it's more on the other use case side. Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned very important role of stablecoins to pairing them actually with real-world assets or with tokenized assets, right? And I think that UAE seems to be one of the leading, again, countries. Some very interesting developments with the Dubai Land Department, some tokenization of property or flats actually, successful sales. So how do you see this development? This is more real estate, but we are talking about commodities a lot, or I mean UAE or the region is very strong in commodities. Where do you see this going, and also the role of Zand going forward?
Yeah, so a lot happening actually on the backs, but again, the market is not really getting mature in terms of pricing, right? So maybe a company tokenization charge you the fee like hell of a amount, and then the other one actually almost like free of charge because they want to cross sell some other things. Yes. I start one by one, right? Dubai Land Authority actually, again, I think the leader lead the way to make it happen. That lead actually regulation happen. That lead actually the commercial world happen as well. Zand actually play a little role on this, and then we've been actually the banking role. So the control alternate doing the tokenization and also the custodian, Preco doing the distribution, and also to find the asset from the Denmark, where actually Zand Bank as an enablement, who is actually enable all the digital asset, the banking rail, as what we're doing for the VAS. Now, where bank is heading to is that today we have already digital asset license in terms of the custodians. Of course, I mean, we were launching also the dirham stablecoin. So being a coin issuers, being a dirham clearing by ourselves, and also we have our own digital asset custodian, we can provide exactly the same service, for to enable, a different player. Now, the other question you mentioned about in terms of the asset, you're absolutely right. Probably actually is one of the hot tokenized asset, but in fact, a lot of commodity happenings on the back. I have been asked by many clients, I want to tokenize a gold, I want to tokenize the art, I want to tokenize this and that. Today, we don't have a very sophisticated and liquidity in terms of distributions. I think what we need to make happen is that the UAE, such a beautiful platform in terms of fintech and crypto, we should have a good distribution platform where actually the people can easily, like a stock exchange, right, like a crypto exchange, and then you can easily actually place your real asset over there with the liquidity. Now, when you have a liquidity, and then you need to talk about not only the sell side but also the buy side. If we can be a little bit more push to the international market, where actually Dubai is offering a lot of things in the local place, I'm sure that there's a lot of participants. Today, if you look at the real estate market, the main buyer actually is never the local, right? The local actually will pay 10%, 20% actually that's internal market share, but main play actually international buyers. Yes. So that's attraction actually from the market on the Dubai. Now, happen actually right now physically, but it will be tokenized, virtually as well. I'm sure that there will be a lot of buyers actually will be attracted in the UAE.
Okay, and so kind of the vision, maybe or hopefully sometimes in the near future, is we have our wallet, we fund it with the AED stablecoin with a service provider like Zand, and off we go on a platform and we click a button and we get exposure to some real world assets.
Plus digital loans as well.
And digital loans.
Tokenized digital loans maybe.
And so once we have this asset, we can also use it as collateral or something, use it for like the wealth management actually products.
Yeah, it's very good actually you bring it up, right? So the beauty actually to tokenize actually the debt or loan, right?
Yes.
If you look at actually the institution markets, right? So we always sell down actually the debts to the secondary market, where actually the market is not liquid, because the buy side always usually is institution rather than the corporate. Now, when you tokenize actually a debt, the player can be individual as well. The player can be the wealth as well. So again, UAE actually has such a high return in terms of properties compared to some of the countries you cannot imagine. For example, like in Taiwan, if you buy a properties, the return yield after the cost is less than 0.5%. Where in Dubai, you know that, right? So some of the property can, like 7 to 11% before the cost, and let's say you pay the third party, to do the administrative work for you, and then minus 2% is still very attractive. We talk about 5 to 9%. So the same, for the debts, you can see it as a security linked deposit, right? Where your underlying is a debt, right? I'm sure that actually this can be a quite good next wave of RWA.
Very nice. Yeah.
This year 2025 has been a very fascinating year. So many things out there. I mean, we've seen very big events in the region.
Right.
We've also seen some hacks, unfortunate events happens to some of our close friends and allies, I will say, in the region. What is Zand Bank doing to avoid this kind of things happening to institutions like yours? How serious do you take cybersecurity?
We can actually think about in two ways. Number one, banks supposed to be more secure.
Yes.
Compared to the others. So security actually mindset is always the DNA for the bank, right? Especially when you do digital banking, right? Your chance of the hacking is even higher because you are one of the targets. When your money in the bank actually getting higher and higher, you become more targets, of course, right? It's like the gold vote and also the cash vote. We are using institution-grade custodian solutions. We are using one of the top, actually being used by the tier 1 banks in the Europe. The security, actually, we believe that we cannot rely on ourselves. We have to rely on the expert because the hacking activity today is slow, but tomorrow when hacking activity all rely on the AI, that it means actually the war between AI agent and AI agent. So that means you need to apply real-time patches by your AI agent to your securities, to your vote, which is the case of custodian solutions. So we have a good partners on the security solutions. At the same time, actually, we never compromise on the securities. The task actually on no matter the digital asset custodian on the fiat custodian, and we have a very serious measure about it, and then we apply always the international standards. Now, the trends, we can see that after these few hacking events, many of the exchanges or the brokers, now they prefer using third-party custodian rather than actually... so that means in the old day, right, many of the crypto exchanges, they want to use their own custodian with the simple reasons. Two reasons. Number one, efficiency. They can change anytime actually to fit to the exchange in terms of the trade flow. And then the second one actually that's they can adjust also the pricing scheme, because today you cannot compete with the custodian service because the custodian is almost like a very low AUM fee, custodian fee. In terms of the risk and the reward is not really aligned. So that's why most of the exchange try to push out either third-party exchanges or they encourage the client to use the self-custodial wallets, right? And we believe actually there will be emerged that many of the technical custodian solution will lead the market, and then more than just 2 players, 3 players, there will be more. Number two is that actually, because when you have a marketplace, right? Most exchange, if they try to, using a third party, you create a marketplace. When there's a marketplace, the people will invest, right? And it means actually your custodian fee will increase, not decrease, right? Number two is that the self-custodial wallets, right? There will be more and more technology providers, and then there will be more secure as well. Thirdly, I think there will be a centralization of custodian solutions globally, regionally. And then if you look at actually the large crypto exchanges, right? They don't own each country a custodian. They're always using a centralized exchange custodian for themselves. So either in X country or Y countries. So there will be a more and more actually consolidation on this. And then I will believe, even though actually some of the smaller exchanges were using the large exchanges custodian solution. One of the example is like the Sifu, for example, like they're owned by Binance. Now Sifu was created to serve Binance and now extend to the external offer as well, right? So I think this will have more and more case, happen in the market.
What do you see in terms of the education of the institutions here in the UAE and the region? Can they do self-custody? Do they know what it is? Do they see, when they're allocating capital, let's say in crypto, are they aware of it? Is this something on their horizon or their agenda, or are they still prefer to have it with you or with a third-party custodian?
So there's a 3 aspect on this, right? You remember actually when we were small, when you have a first bank account, definitely you are younger than me, you have a passbook.
Yes.
Right? And ATM card.
Yes.
Today, how often you use ATM card, and there's no passbook. So to you, that will be transparent. I believe the custodian wallet will be the same. To you, it's a click. And today in the fiat, even though we are using actually the cash wallet, in fact it's a cash wallet, right, in a bank, but you will not know what technology behind. Credit card, for example, they are using HSM device. It's the same actually as a crypto world, but you don't need to know actually it's HSM. So I think that will be more transparent, more seamless, to the users. Now the second question is that, what is exactly the bank trying to be, for that? The bank and non-bank, there's one difference, a big difference, which is the bank is being guided by many regulators, right? And then so that's why actually we have the strong capital, right? This is a protection, to the client and also the investor and also the corporates. By providing actually custodians on the cash, which we are already doing it, and now extend to the digital assets, it's the same reason, because we try to provide actually a safety net, and a guarantee also, to our clients. Yeah.
Okay. Should we close by asking Michael Anton what is he gonna do for the rest of the year?
100%. Where can people find you? How can people? Do you participate in the events, or for instance, Token 2049, Abu Dhabi Finance Week? Do you plan something to do there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I personally participate all this event, consensus, token, fintech, and all that. I wish our next baby, the Dirham Stablecoin, to launch, and then we have some exciting products to launch as well. And then we will have our promotion booth, of course, in the coming events.
Awesome. So people expect, I think the next one will be Token 2049 in Singapore. Big one, or there is something else in your agenda?
We have a product launch in August, September, October, and November.
Wow.
So from the TradeFi world and also DeFi world. So depends on the timing. We may not be long enough to wait for the fintechs coming and the Token 2049 coming. Yeah.
It's always great to hear that you are launching products so fast you cannot even wait
for the events to happen.
Yes. Awesome. So Michael, really was a pleasure. Thank you very much. A really eye-opening discussion, and I'm sure it's going to be very interesting for our audience. Thank you very much for joining us. Demetrios, I think, was one of the strongest one of the
best discussions of our podcast series. So thank you for coming.
Well, thanks again actually for the invite. I mean, we can take more questions offline. I'm sure that we talk about the family, we talk about the other things.
For sure, the family.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Bye.